Dudes, ain't it? Ain't it, dudes? I got my pal Vern here. He probably won't leave me alone. But now is the perfect time for me to do a review on my Phoenix bows. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking that you see one of these and you think everything can go wrong, but I'm just going to go through this with everything that comes to mind. I don't have anything written down or none of that, so we're just going to do some chit chatting here about the bows. And I got Vern back here to give me a neck rub, and maybe he's romancing right now. Okay, first of all, I got mediums here. Let's talk about this one. Just ignore my high capacity man quiver right now. This is the Slockmaster edition. Snakeskin limbs. There's nothing different about it besides the color of the limbs, black riser. So when you get the bow, if you guys are watching this, you have Phoenixes, okay. You know about them. But just say you're a new guy to lever bows. You get the bow. I'm going to try to tell you everything I've ever learned about them so far. And you're trying to look how they operate and stuff, and you're kind of freaked out. So just get your bow, draw it back. Make sure it fits you, the draw length. I'm not being filmed, so I can't zoom in, but there are two little draw stops here. If it's not perfect, and you're satisfied with the let off, there's modules here. You can change the let off, draw length, and whatever you like, but you can move these modules to accommodate your draw length. It's simple. It's not like a compound where you got to buy a module and put it in a press maybe, or maybe it's both. You don't need it pressed. You take it on and off, whatever. This is freaking easy. So I'm just briefly talking about it. So you can set your draw length down to the millimeter if you wanted to, which is nice. That should cover draw length. It's very easy. Don't be scared about it. Talk about the outboard limbs. These are medium limbs. You have a yoke cable that goes around the top, okay? It's the one that is coated. It's that way. It never changes. I've never had a yoke cable break. And these are Oneida factory cables. And one thing that comes to mind, if you look down your bow and you notice a limb's twisted out, or maybe it's cocked one way or another, okay, they can't twist. They're composite. They're not going to twist or break or none of that. I've never had it happen. And I shoot the absolute piss out of these things. So if you notice your limb cocked, this is what I learned. And a guy at the Oneida factory, he taught me over the phone. Loosen up your saddle screw, just a few turns, and say your limb comes up and it kicks that way. You're looking at it. Loosen that saddle screw, put it on something soft, or use your leg. Put that limb there. You don't have to press hard, and put your hand right by the hinge area, kind of on both limbs, and just push down and pull up on the riser. Not real aggressively, but just enough, and you'll feel this cable slide through the yoke and your limb will straighten up. That's just how it's done. That's how Oneida recommends it. And I've had to do it. I've had to do it on my other bow here. And that'll fix your limb straightening problems, your curved limb problems, cocked limb problems, however you want to put it. Okay, let's move on to the power limb and cable. I've never had a problem with these. No cracks or breaks or nothing. But the power cable, I see a lot of guys talking about their cables break. And the Oneida factory cables, there's a bunch of little strands wrapped around a nice core in there, in the cable. Which when those break, the little ones, it's just a warning sign. Hey, just watch out. But I haven't had it break. You can keep shooting it. But in the future, you might want to take care of it and have a spare on hand. But what I've done, and if you have your bow, you can see all these radius points. These are called radius points, okay? They come around in a radius. On your hinge, when I took my bow apart the first time to do cables, every radius point, I took a file and I rounded it off, put a nice radius on it, and took off that sharp edge, because that's what's cutting your cables. So you got 2 spots you can do that on each side of your hinge. You don't have to get crazy. Just use common sense and look at it and use a file or a diamond hone, round diamond hone. And then you come down here, you follow your power cable around where it hooks in to the cam, where your stop goes into the notch. There's another radius point. Those were sharp edges. I took a file in there and I gave it a nice beveled edge, a nice radius. And I have not had a cable fray or break or nothing. It's just what needs to be done. Do I think it should be done at the factory like that? Yes, I do. But maybe I just get anal about that. I don't know. These are my theories. So that'll take care of it. Hit all your spots, even on your yoke cable where it wraps around. Every radius point, you don't have to on the saddle because it's composite, nylon or whatever it's made out of. Or you can get an aluminum one from G-string, which they're cool, but I don't have one on this bow. Okay, and then this bow, they come with suppression system. I left my string stop on there, but it comes with 2 other aluminum pieces with some rubber on the ends. It's the easiest way to explain it. Very basic, and they're supposed to rest up against these cables. They tighten with an Allen wrench on this bar. I took them off to experiment with sound. I noticed no difference. And if you hold all 4 in your hand, it's kind of heavy. So I took mine off. You don't have to do yours, just what I do. And yeah, these bows are very quiet. When you get your bow, I suggest being anal about it. You got these 2 holes on your cams. Measure from them, hook your tape measure in there to there. That's your tiller. Make sure that's the same. Okay? Otherwise your bow's not going to be in time and you might have problems tuning and all kinds of crap. So learn about that. Anybody can do it if you have a brain, okay? Get your tiller. Brace height. Deepest part of the grip to your string. Here's an example. Let's say I'm bare shafting and I'm getting a lot of, it could be your arrow rest too, but let's just say you're happy with your arrow rest setting. I'm getting a lot of knock left and I'm a right-hand shooter. I've done all this, so I lowered my brace height by 1/4 inch to experiment. And I got a straight bare shaft, which was awesome. You're getting a little bit scientific when you do these things. You gotta tinker. It's all about doing some tinkering and learning. But you can experiment with your brace height. And with these bows, these are at 6 3/16. That's my happy spot. So, and you raise your brace height if you're getting a real knock right, showing stiff spine if you're a right-handed shooter. It pretty much weakens your spine when you got a bigger brace height. You put some more brace in it. That's what I've noticed. I'm not telling you opinions. These are facts that I've done. Okay. So you got to check your tiller, your brace, find your happy spots. Everybody can do it. All right. Say you're gonna change your tiller. You want to change your tiller or your poundage. There's a timing screw in there, an orange set screw. First thing you do, loosen that baby up. Don't go cranking on nothing. Just break that sucker loose. That way, when you adjust the timing with your limb bolts, then your timing cable will roll. And when you get your bow, you'll see there's a little slot, that timing screw in there. It spins. so nothing gets in a bind. Then you retighten it down and it's set again. Everything will be clear once you start tinkering, but these are not scary or hard bows to work on. And then you want to change your string. Just start backing your limb bolts out, but first, what do? You just say, ain't it. That's what you do. Ain't it, Toots? Ain't it. When you have a problem, you just look at it and you say, ain't it. No, you loosen up your set screw, your timing screw, then you back your limb bolts off, keep them even all the way out so nothing gets all cocked and in a bind. Everything about these bows, keep it even, okay? Then when you get it so loose, you'll start noticing a lot of slop here in your cables, and it's easy. You can put one limb on your leg, then kind of do it like a recurve. It's set. If you just grab this limb and give it a torque, heck, you can pop your string off easy. When I do that, I pop my string off, and then I'll hold it so nothing comes flying apart. Then you just set that baby down, and you can take off all your cables. Then you can do a cable change. When you put it back together, maybe I'll have to do a cable video, but that's for another day. You might cuss a little bit when you're doing these cables by yourself. If you have a helper in the house where you can get one cable wrapped around there and hold it, because the new ones, they don't have their shape at the radius points, which makes it easy. So that's the only thing. It might be a little time consuming at first, but I do have tricks. If you say you get this side done and you're sitting here holding it, keeping tension on your outer limb, I shove a big fat marker down there in between the power and the outer, and that holds it. It keeps everything tight. Then I go over here and do that one, and I can hold that one, or I'll put another marker down in there. Then it's just holding it all. Little things you can do when you're by yourself. All right, now what do you want to move on to? Your timing cable. Don't make that baby really tight. Just give it about 3/16 of play or so. Make sure it has a little bit of play. They say to check it on the bottom, about 3/16 on the bottom. I just check it everywhere for binding or whatever. But that's, I messed around and I got a new timing cable from G-String, and when you put them on, you just got to make sure you have the right twist in it. But there's videos that can show you all about that. And when you take it apart, watch how you take it apart, and you'll be able to put it back the same way. Anyway, guys, these things are awesome bows. I just want to show you my other one. This was my custom long I ordered in Bottomlands, but I will tell you what I did to myself here in a minute. I've recently shipped this back, and Terry Ivy helped me out. She was able to help me get this into a medium, which I will tell you why. This bow fits me perfectly. When I got these at my first Oneida, which was this one, I thought I needed to draw a longer bow, and I gave this to my wife, which is now mine again. And she has a new one. It might be here today, because I wanted to get her a brand new unmolested bow. I have this long still. I bought this long. A guy had it, which I have it for sale if anybody sees this. You might have seen my ad. He had this for a couple months. He camoed it himself. I put a new power cable on there, and it's a G-string power cable. This is it's set up for about 29 inches or 28 and a half, somewhere in there. But look, here was my problem. I thought I needed to draw longer. Now watch this. Look how far back there. My index finger is almost past my eye. And I thought I liked doing that, being all stretched out. But really, I've never been that far stretched out and locked, because there's no room for a finger shooter to expand. Now when I draw this bow back, see, it stops short, and I can come into it just like I always have with my compound bows. Boom, perfect. for whatever reason, it could be because I'm a chronic bow tinkerer and I always want to try things. I actually, my bow muscle under my shoulder blade was so tight the whole last hunting season. Even though I made some good shots with these longs, I just worked myself into a state of target panic, and I'm slowly coming out of it. It's because I got the right setup now. And I suggest keeping your draw length. You stop that draw. If you're a finger shooter, have that stop set to where your fingers stop right at your cheekbone, just in front of your cheekbone, so you can lay your head over into it if you're shooting no sights. Okay? Don't overdraw unless you like it. I didn't. However, this bow is for sale. If any of you watch this and you want it, I'll do, if you're in the United States, I'll do $850 to your door. It's practically a new Phoenix long. Let me know. Okay, it's been hanging in here, and it keeps hanging. The fact that there's minimal riser torque, if any. When you draw these back, I'm torquing the crap out of that bow, and it's almost bringing the string with it. Just pull your Matthews back and move your wrist a little bit. See how floppy that riser is? I know, because I shot a no-cam, a traverse, and I shot all them with fingers and no sights too, and I was really accurate with them, but you always had to pay attention. Ever so slightly bit of torque on that riser, bud, you're throwing your arrow off. So, this is probably the most versatile bow you can get, and I like it. Guys ask me if I like them. Yes, I do like them. You can't go wrong with it. These are the most versatile bows, guys. You put a sight on here. My wife shot this with a sight. Just stacking them. That's the most accurate I've ever saw her shoot. And I have her a short coming because this is a medium. And I was saying that she was shooting this, but she was kind of in the same boat I was. But I put her in the boat, but now I'm fixing it. So I went to medium, she's going to short, and she's going to fondle an unmolested bow. And some of you are looking at my high capacity quiver. It's almost like a guitar. So, some guys get all butthurt when they see my high capacity quivers, telling me I shouldn't be in the woods if I need that many arrows. Come on. I'm comfortable with my capacity, are you? Why would you go to the woods with like 3 arrows? When I go walking deer hunting, for instance, I'm going in there, I gotta cross a deep ravine or something, but I'll stop up on there and I'll look for a leaf, I'll shoot at it. Might get at the bottom and look up and okay, here comes a squirrel down the hill. Boom, I'll pop out a judo point or whatever. I carry arrows and I'm a hunter. I don't go home or anywhere and shoot a couple arrows and be satisfied that I'm just shooting at a target. I go out and shoot. Carry some flus. If I'm cutting across a cornfield going hunting, well, if there's some crows coming in, I'll duck in the tree line there and try to call them in and blow one of them out of the air. You know, you got to have a high capacity quiver. Or just carry what you want. I don't care. But then guys telling me I shouldn't be in the woods needing this many arrows, I just think you're a little bit butthurt that I have such a high capacity man quiver and I can stack arrows in the bullseye with no sights and you can't. Just the facts. So, you don't need to talk crap about other people's stuff. I'm showing you what I have and what these bows are capable of and how easy they really are. And I have 2 of them. Yeah, they cost a lot, but I wanted 2 of them. And you might see my light mounts on the side here. Here, let's go into that for a second. Let me put one on for you. I might use this light. Be walking in there.
I'll go get my license.
Or you see a raccoon or something. Or you just walk in and you want to use a red light. Yeah, turn that baby on. and you can coyote hunt at night. The battery just went dead in this. You can coyote hunt at night with it. See, you can shoot with it. Real nice setup. That just about wraps it up for what I have to say about these things. If you have any questions, just ask. And if you're thinking about making the switch to one of these Phoenixes, just do it. Terry Ivy, the manager there, she's great to work with. If you have any questions, they welcome your calls. They're 100% American-made bows, and I suggest you try one. Get back to your roots. If you want to stick with your Matthews and you got all that going, but you want to try something fun, like just get one of these. Get a used one on eBay or something, and get out there and start shooting with fingers and try to shoot moving targets and get the fun back into it. A lot of people shoot releases, big 4-foot stabilizers, and all the crap, and they still just get mad, go home, they just stop shooting, no fun. Go out and play. Try to get you a chipmunk with no sights. It's anything. Anyway, my kids, I got them shooting out in the yard. They'll shoot anything with their bows. They try to hit stuff, pop cans, anything's a target. We'll set up pine cones. These will bring the fun back. I suggest you get into it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I changed the name to Tribe Drake because my last name is Drake. And my tribe has been in archery since the beginning. My grandpa shot for bear archery. Yeah, my grandma and grandpa did. They shot outdoor field tournaments with the old bear recurs, indoors, broadhead field target tournaments. Cool stuff. I've just been around it forever. So, tinker, get you one of these babies. Get you some spare cables and remember to hit them radius points with a file. I mean, you take care of that. I've shot, let's say this bow, I bet I've shot it over 1,000 times already on these cables. And they're not even that old. And I have no frays anywhere, and I constantly check, okay? Just always inspect and caress and fondle your weapons. Thanks for watching Tribe Drake. I'll try to bring you some more videos, you know, get back to your roots.